Hi everyone. I'm Sophie from Avis. I'll just wait for a few more people to come on. If you just bear with me a few seconds, I'll just share my screen. Right, hopefully you'll all be able to see this now. Perfect. So hi everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. I'll be trying to give you a quick whistle-stop tour and a complete guide to car hire. So the theme throughout this presentation will be about getting back to better throughout the last horrific 18 months. So I'll be hoping to be able to reintroduce car rental, update you on how we've adapted to the COVID-19 crisis, as well as let you guys know about the new products and how we've tried to make selling car hire as easy as possible for you. So it goes back to the basics. So who are Avis and Budget? So both are well-known car hire brands. Avis was founded in 1946 and Budget in 1958. Both operate on a really big global network, and Avis operates in over 5,000 locations in 165 countries, and Budget in 3,350 locations in 120 countries. The two brands are usually distinguished by Avis being well known for it being more of a premium brand and renowned for its exceptional service, and whereas Budget is known more to value the sort of value conscious traveller. So here are a few benefits of booking with Avis and Budget. So both Avis and Budget have the option to be able to book one ways as well as delivery and collection. Um, for both brands as well, absolutely all cancellations and modifications are completely free of charge. We've also got a dedicated reservations call centre and account management team, as well as bespoke booking solutions to make car hire as simple and as easy to book. We've also got for both brands, due to the COVID-19 crisis, enhanced cleaning protocols and more of a contactless experience to be able to provide both you and your customer with full confidence when booking with Avis and Budget. And I'll go into a bit more detail on that later. I thought I'd do a quick slide on what's included and what's not included in car rental. So both brands have exactly the same inclusions. There's no difference between the two. And basically what's included as standard is all the mandatory insurances that the customers need to be able to drive away on that day. But with the mandatory inclusions, it's obviously still subject to excess, and that goes into what's not included. So things such as one-way fees, delivery and collection fees, and fuel are all subject to additional charge if the customer chooses to have booked those particular things. And obviously also any optional insurances to reduce the excess to zero. Any car upgrades and any car ancillaries also will be subject to additional charge at the rental station. So in terms of when the customer actually arrives at the rental station, what they'll need is at least a valid driving license that they've had for at least 1 year. The customer should also be at least 25 years or older. Usually the minimum age is around 23, but I've known it to go down to 21. But a young driver surcharge would be applicable in those situations. Customers should also be aware of any DVLA policies in the particular renting country. And they must also have a valid credit card, but also debit cards are also accepted in most of our corporately owned locations. But please do check at the time of booking. And then in terms of what Avis and Budget will provide the customer, is we'll provide them with a rental agreement for them to sign. They'll also receive a wallet with any emergency numbers and a copy of the rental agreement. And at this point, both the customer and Avis and Budget should check the car for any prior damage. And I would advise your customers to go around the car and just take a few pictures before driving out of the rental station. And then in terms of the drop off, I think two sort of useful tips is that our rates are usually worked out on a 24-hour basis. So if your customer picks up the car at 9 a.m. and drops it off at 9 a.m. the next day, that will only be a charge for 24 hours. But if the customer decides to extend and drop the car off at 10 a.m., then we'll charge an extra 24 hours. So it'll be a 48-hour charge for that particular rental. Um, and then we also have a 29-minute grace period, which is also good for your customers to know. So if they are running late, either on drop off or pick up, we have a 29-minute period where it'll be completely free of charge. If the customer goes over that 29 period, then that's when there'll be an extra 24-hour charge. And then upon drop off, the customer and again Avis or Budget should check the car for any damage. And then if there is any damage or theft, for example, then that's when the excess will be charged. And upon drop off, that's when the payment will be processed. Um, okay, so this is just an example rental agreement that I thought I'd share with you guys. But I think we'll be able to share the presentation afterwards. So please do take some time to have a look at that after. In terms of booking channels, we really have sort of three sorts of solutions, and we can really tailor this to you and your businesses. So the first one is a bespoke microsite that we can build for you with your account details embedded. We also have XML and direct connect solutions, but we also have our call center with a dedicated phone line and email address should you so wish to book that way. So in terms of what's new and how we've adapted to the COVID-19 crisis. Um, So to be able to provide you and your customers with peace of mind, we've developed a zero excess all-inclusive insurance product. And this is usually at a better rate, to be honest, than buying it directly at the counter. So it's always good to let your customers know about the option for this. And the main difference is between this product versus the sort of mandatory inclusions we have already, is this will obviously reduce the excess to zero, and then it therefore includes super collision damage waiver and super theft protection. Another good benefit of booking with Avis and Budget is frequent traveller points. So it's a great added benefit for customers when booking with Avis and Budget. So basically, if any of your customers have any loyalty programs with any of the major hotels or airlines, when renting, they can actually earn miles and points. All you've got to do is just add their frequent traveller number at the time of booking. And I think a misconception as well is, to earn Avios, the customer doesn't need to be booking with British Airways. You can just add in their BA exec number, and we'll be able to let the customers earn miles that way. In terms of our new safety measures from COVID-19, this is sort of our Avis safety pledge and budget worry-free promise. And this is basically our way of ensuring we're keeping our customers and employees safe, with mainly sort of less contact, so less time at the rental station, enhanced cleaning protocols, and to really ensure we are cleaning to sort of the highest standards. We've partnered with companies like Dettol to ensure we're keeping up to date with the latest research in cleaning products. And lastly, one of the last sort of products we've introduced is applicable again for both Avis and Budget, and is our digital check-in. And for travel agents and tour operators, we're hoping for this to be ready to go live the end of this month, early October. And all it will be is you'll receive a sort of generic link that you can send to your customers, either on their booking confirmations or just in your general communications. And this means that the customers can check in anytime up until the rental pickup. All they'll have to do is fill in their surname and reservation number, and then we'll just ask a few details of what we would usually ask at the rental station pickup. And this is usually things like their driving license or credit card details. The credit card details will only be taken in order for the deposit, and also any additional extras the customer should choose to sort of purchase. And we will make sure that the customers know they're not paying for the rental again. I think this is a really great way of ensuring we're reducing queue times, because all the customers will do is, once they've checked in, is turn up at the rental station, collect their keys, and be on their way straight away. Here are a few useful information and sort of top tips for selling. So on our avis.co.uk site, we have various sort of destination guides and driving routes available. And please do take a look and share these with your customers. And we feel this is a really great way to inspire customers to see how much sort of renting a car adds value to their holiday, as they'll be able to see and do so much more. The sort of buzzword we've also heard around travel in the last 12 months is sort of bubble travel. And I think it's a really good way to sort of set in car hire as being one of the safest sort of post-COVID ways of traveling when in resort. Um, oh, sorry. And then we've also got a extra training academy on our Avis sort of budget group Beep site below. Please do also take a look for some further training modules. And then sort of lastly, I just wanted to sort of highlight that booking with Avis and Budget, there's really no better time to do it, and you can really book with confidence. with our enhanced health and safety protocols, our zero access insurances, and free cancellations, there's really no better time to book. So what's in it for you? As well as our competitive commission levels, you also do have access to an up to 25% discount on your personal car hire. If you'd like to take a look, please have a look at the link below. Also, if you would like to work with us or get in touch with me with any other questions, please do feel free to email us on our leisure sales email there. This is just a snapshot of the team, and if you do get in touch with us via the leisure sales inbox, it will usually be either myself or the lovely Nikos who'll be in touch with you. This is just a slide on sort of our useful contacts. Again, we'll share the presentation after this, so please do have a look in your own time. And lastly, a huge thank you for listening with me and putting up with me. Do let me know if you've got any other questions.
That's great. Thanks so much, Sophie. Really good to hear from you. And yeah, do download some of the collateral that Sophie's uploaded by clicking on the Files tab. There's loads of helpful things there. And if you missed any of the answers to the polls, download the whole presentation. I believe the whole presentation is in there. Or you can watch the video back and answer the poll questions. I had one question, Sophie. I know we've written in previous years at TTG, when especially getting into sort of peak travel periods for different parts of the world, about particular kind of crunch points with availability. And, you know, for this destination, it's really, really important that your client's booking a good 5 or 6 months in advance because there's going to be a crunch. Is there anything like that that agents should be aware of? I know the market's odd at the moment, obviously, and we're not traveling to most destinations in anywhere near the right numbers, but even looking ahead into 2022, is there already anything on your radar that you're thinking, agents really need to make sure they get that car rental sold as soon as they sell the holiday, otherwise we might have, you know, availability problems down the line?
Yeah, no, that's a really good question, Pippa. Thanks for that. So actually, car rental has been one of those sort of industries that's actually been quite affected by all the lockdowns. I think there was a huge, without boring everyone, there was a huge lockdown, obviously, in China, and that's affected a lot of the car manufacturers being able to make cars. So all car rental providers have actually really struggled to purchase particular car groups and from car manufacturers. So we have got a sort of a reduction in fleet this year, and I believe it will affect going on into next year. So it is really important, I think, to try and get that booked in advance. But obviously do reach out to either myself or the leisure sales inbox or our reservations team, and we'll do our utmost best to sort of secure those bookings in place. But yeah, it's been a weird year.
Yeah, it has. And I know some agents tell me that, you know, just at the time of taking the booking, it can be sometimes quite hard to then also introduce the conversation about car rental, because, you know, you're asking the client for more money there and then. And what would you say about trying to make that sale as close to the booking of the holiday or the travel as possible, rather than leaving it till nearer the time?
Yeah, I think it's good to sort of include it, and we do have sort of packaged rates as well that we can provide to sort of tour operators and everything, because I think it's a good way to sort of sell in the holiday. Like I think you get to see and do a lot more of sort of driving a car than you would if you were just stuck to either public transport or, you know, or just staying in resorts. I think it's a really good way of selling the whole holiday there and then, rather than having to think about it at an additional stage.
So kind of, describe the experience that can be had with the car as part of the original sale, rather than it being an add-on later. Yeah, that makes lots of sense. Thanks so much, Sophie. I can't see any specific questions at the moment, but if any pop up later on, when we're not live, then of course we'll make sure that we get those to you, so that agents can have some answers back. Thanks a lot for tuning in to Sophie. Thanks to agent guests as well. Leon is ready and waiting for you in training room 3. That's Leon from Celebrity Cruises. So if you make your way over to training room 3, that session will be beginning any second now. I will see you over there. Thank you, Sophie.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.